Hey, okay, so let's dive into specifically how do you navigate online dating during COVID? Because it certainly is a game changer. Although I will tell you, and this is really cool, I'll tell you that what I've seen over these last few months is that the nature of what people are experiencing, the connection that people are experiencing is deeper. I don't know if it's because people, whatever was going on before this started, people seem to be much more aware of that they want connection, they want relationship. So the connections seem to be deeper, more meaningful. Boy, I'll tell you, many relationships I'm aware of started after we were pretty much in the throes of this thing, and it was all social distancing was what everybody was doing or supposed to be doing. So it's I'm very encouraged. I think that this is it's just an amazing time. Now, online dating is also really the only game in town for people who are being compliant, and hopefully everybody is. Now, I will say that whatever I'm going to talk about during this video, I'm going to be coming from supporting the recommended protocols. So whatever you do, that is obviously up to you, but I'm going to speak as though you are following protocol, right? Which is social distancing, masks, etc. So all the things we talked about in the last video with how do you get yourself online. Remember, I'm going to stress this again because it's really important. You have to know who you are, and you have to know who the right kind of person is for you. You just have to. I mean, if you're dating casually and all you want to do is have sex, which is fine, then it's not so important. But if you're doing this because you want to end up with a partner, well, the way you're going to attract a partner is being yourself and knowing what matters to you. And the way that you screen people is by knowing what you are looking for, what matters to you, and sticking to that, no matter how attractive somebody is, no matter how much you've got the whole chemistry thing going on. Really important. Okay, so all the things we talked about, you're going to put yourself out there. You're going to have your yummy ad. Your photos are fabulous. You've written something that's just so yummy. And so now you are same thing. You're interacting with people, and you're going to, and people are still doing this, sometimes they're texting for a while, but because now with Zoom, FaceTime, all these other ways of being able to, in fact, some of these the dating sites are also, they've launched video options. So you can actually, within the dating site itself, you can do video connection with people. So this is such a game changer. My goodness, such a game changer. So you're getting to know people. Oftentimes somebody will suggest doing a Zoom or video thing. Always important, and shoot, I should have mentioned this in the last video, always important that you feel safe. Always safe, safe, safe. If you don't feel safe, you are going to keep yourself very, which would be natural, right? Just really constricted. You're gonna actually act as though you don't trust them. You're gonna be suspicious, possibly, or like all the opposite of self-expressed. Be yourself, be seen. People can get a sense of who you are. So it's very important that you always, always, always feel safe. Now, with something like Zoom, as long as you don't put your full name, because you can have a name in there. So don't put your full name in there. Until you trust somebody, don't let them know what your last name is. Don't let them know where you live. Don't let them know where you work. Don't give them any information that can have them figure out how to find you. Not because the world is full of terrible people, but because you want to feel safe. It's how you will allow yourself to blossom in this exploration with somebody and just be able to be authentically self-expressed. Very hard to do when you are terrified and don't feel safe. All right, so super important. So when you get on your Zoom date or your FaceTime date or whatever it's going to be, and we touched on this in the last video also, try to steer clear of things that are very tempting and super boring. Don't talk about online dating. Don't talk about COVID. You know what matters to you. You know the kinds of things that are going to be interesting to you. So talk about those things that matter. It's fine. By the way, this is what I'm hearing from people, is that the conversations are getting deeper and they are going there more quickly. People are looking for that kind of connection. They're missing it more and they're looking for it more. If you really do not have any idea the topics that you would like to talk about, the things that you would like to explore, there's a great thing. I definitely urge you to go look for this. Is just Google 36 questions. And what you're going to find is something that was published in the New York Times quite a while ago. And it was this experiment that was done, and having two strangers come together. There were 36 questions to answer, and they were, they started out more superficial, and they got every one of them got deeper, deeper, deeper. And they were astounded at what happened when these people who were virtual strangers, when they shared these questions, the answers to these questions with each other. It had them feel very close to each other. And in fact, they ended up with some people in the study who ended up getting married because they fell in love with each other. So think about what kinds of things would be fun, interesting, things that you would want to know. And like we covered in the last video, don't have it be that you're doing this checklist interview thing, because people don't tend to dig that. Just conversation. If you ask a question, you answer the question as well. Okay, so it's important to have it be that's more like the sort of the give and take, the share kind of thing. Very important. And I think I say that a lot, right? All these things are very important, but what is tricky about this COVID thing, among several things that are tricky about it, but it's reminiscent of back in, when AIDS started to really become an issue, was people practicing back then safe sex and being able to have a conversation with someone you're attracted to, and maybe attachment-itis has kicked in, but being able to have a conversation with someone and actually say, I need to do this, follow the social distance thing. I need to be masked. I need to, whatever it is for you, because it may be that for you, and it's completely fine. Remember, you need to feel safe and you're in charge. You're the chooser. You're the catch. You're the prize. Don't lean away from yourself and towards someone else because you want them to want you and to like you. Don't abandon yourself. Always, always something that I would say, but very important now. So important. So if it's true that before you get together with somebody in person, you would require quarantining or testing or any of those kinds of things, be clear about what you need, and you just let people know. And if somebody's not willing to meet you and what it is that you need to feel safe and good, not your person, right? Remember, everybody you encounter until you pick the winner will be the wrong one for you. So you get to invoke the best 4-letter word in dating, the best, which is next. There's always a next. So any given moment, there's 10 million people online. There's so many great, great, great people. So you make sure that you're really clear about what it is that you need to feel safe and to navigate this COVID time, right? And it's your call, absolutely. So let's say this is going well. You have a Zoom date and you feel a good connection. And so now you could continue to just have Zoom dates and just talk until whatever the conditions are that the two of you have decided you need to have met, until those conditions are met and you can be in person. But what people are noticing is, well, yes, that's great to be able to just talk, but what else can we do that's more of an activity? So lots of things that you can do if you don't even leave your house. I love this creativity that human beings have, right? There are all sorts of games that are now free and available online that would normally be a board game that you'd have to play in person. All kinds of things. So just go Google online games. You can play games like that. You can sign up for a course together. You can cook a meal together. You can invent a cocktail and, just be with each other while you're making the cocktail. You can cook I already said cook a meal together. You can decide that you want to watch a movie together, just in your own respective homes. So any kind of an art and craft thing that is something that's important to you, right? Like maybe you're doing, I don't know, finger painting together and showing each other what you came up with. You can, if you feel safe doing this, you can give somebody a video tour of your house. You can show them photos, all sorts of different photos of different parts of your life, different times in your life. You're just a way to get to know each other. Once it becomes safe, if you move toward that, there's things that you can do outdoors: snowshoeing, cross-country skiing. If there's no snow on the ground, you can ride bikes, you can go for walks. There are a lot of things that you can do outdoors. There will probably still be restaurants and bars that are going to be with enough social distance. If you feel safe doing that, you can certainly move forward and do those kinds of dates too. So being able to just suggest back and forth to each other what would be a fun thing to try out, and be creative. Now, let's say that you've moved to the point where, oh, this person, I know enough, I believe that what is the right next thing to do is to date exclusively, which is, remember, not the same thing as commitment. You don't know enough yet to make a commitment to that person, but you know enough that it makes sense to take yourself off the market and just date this person exclusively. So, and remembering all the things that you require. So it may be that you need to do the quarantine, it may be that you need to do the testing. And so it's up to you at that point what you need in order to move forward to any kind of physical intimacy. It could be really anything: holding hands, kissing, and beyond. You need to know what it is that you need and talk about it. This can get tricky, right? Talking about stuff when, wait a minute, it's supposed to be romantic and spontaneous. It's just supposed to happen like in the movies. And now, not so much, right? You have to be much more mindful, much more careful about how you navigate this so that you feel safe. So important, right? And really, I'm so encouraged. I'm just seeing all of these wonderful relationships that are just blossoming. All of them started with Zoom, FaceTime, that kind of thing, and then just eventually getting to the point where they felt safe enough to be in each other's presence. So it's a powerful, wonderful, interesting time, and I know that it's available for you. You just be careful, take care of yourself, and be creative, and go make your dream come true. All right, until we see each other again, take really good care.